Alright guys, welcome back to some more Total Extreme Wrestling 2016. This is a WWE 18 playthrough. It is the second episode and it will be the first time we are airing WWE Smackdown Live. We need a really good show tonight. Last night was pretty diabolical. We got a 61C rating for Raw. It was shocking. The USA Network wasn't happy. I wasn't happy. I don't think anybody was happy. Talking about being happy, we've got Mandy Rose on the left here, and how can you not be happy when you're looking at that? Absolutely amazing. But talking about things that are not happy, Sin Cara is not a happy influence in the dressing room. He appears to be a very negative influence actually, but fortunately he is the only bad apple in the bunch. Maybe we should just get rid of Sin Cara. Just get rid of Sin Cara and keep Mandy Rose and everything will be fine. But anyway, Sin Cara, it's not like he's a big team player. You can understand if Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar are negative influences. I'm not going to get rid of them, but Sin Cara, I'd say he is definitely losable. If this was Titanic, if we hit an iceberg, I will not hesitate to throw Sin Cara overboard. Anyway, let's move on to the show. We need a good one. We cannot disappoint tonight. Hopefully we don't. I think I booked a good show. I'll be amazed if this doesn't get a higher rating than Raw. But we're not after getting a higher rating than Raw. Simply won't be enough. I think we need to get into the 70s. At least get a B or a B minus, something along those lines. But anyway, first match tonight is a pre-show match. And it is Amber Nova and Ronnie Nicole, two local jobbers, taking on the Iconics. And in an abysmal pre-show match, the Iconics defeated Amber Nova and Ronnie Nicole in 5:31 when Peyton Royce defeated Ronnie Nicole by pinfall with a bitch kick. This got a 30E+. Billie Kay seemed really off her game tonight, which wasn't good. Peyton Royce had a performance of 34, Billie Kay 31. The Iconics are featuring they're a pretty big part of SmackDown Live in real life at the moment. Whether they'll be featuring a big part in this series, I don't know. Their performances at the moment aren't that great, but that's the good thing about pre-show matches. If you plan on using someone, you can try and build them up, improve their skills, improve their attributes in the pre-show matches. Then hopefully by the time you call them up to the main roster, they start delivering and start giving you good ratings. But anyway, 30E+ to kick off the night. I don't think it's that bad, to be honest. Plus it's pre-show, so it doesn't really count for anything. But the Iconics pick up the victory. And in the second pre-show and final pre-show match, should I say, Shelton Benjamin versus Ty Dillinger in about that decent heat, but a decent wrestling, but little heat. Shelton Benjamin defeated Ty Dillinger by pinfall with a pay dirt in 10 minutes and 40 seconds. This got a 59C rating, almost as much as Raw got, man. That is mental. Ty Dillinger's not suited to his gimmick. What gimmick? He fucking points, he holds 10 fingers up there like an idiot and shouts 10. I mean, absolutely. I mean, are you out of 10? How retarded are you? 10. Do you know what I mean? That gimmick's pish. I wouldn't even call that a gimmick. Pathetic. Anyway, Shelton Benjamin had an in-ring performance of 63. Ty Dillinger 45. Happy enough with that rating. That rating actually maybe should have been on that actual show. You never know. There'll probably be a lot worse ratings than that on this SmackDown. But talking about SmackDown, let's get on to it. This is the meat. This is the meat and potatoes, as they say. This is the real filling sandwich coming up next, and we need a good rating, so hopefully we can deliver. And we kick off the show with Paige. Paige opens up SmackDown with an announcement regarding the WWE Championship. She announces a 4-man tournament that will conclude tonight, featuring Daniel Bryan, Rusev, The Miz, and Samoa Joe. She also announces that James Ellsworth has been blacklisted from SmackDown, and that if he shows up before SummerSlam, then Carmella will be stripped of her championship. Paige said that for the past year, Carmella and Ellsworth screwed the women's SmackDown roster. Now it's time for revenge. Over the next 4 weeks, Carmella will face 4 of the best women on SmackDown that they have to offer each week. That each woman, fucking hell, man, I'm butchering these lines. I should have put me unscripted here, man. This is shocking. Each woman that defeats Carmella will be added to the SmackDown Women's Championship at SummerSlam. In the unlikely event Carmella wins every match, then she will get the night off. So basically how it's going to work is tonight we've got a number one contender tournament for the WWE Championship. It will be 2 semi-finals and then a final, and all 3 of those matches will happen tonight on SmackDown. And with the women's, it's going to be one match each over the next 4 weeks. So Carmella will be taking on 4 different opponents. Every opponent that defeats Carmella will be added to the Women's Championship match at SummerSlam. So at SummerSlam, we could be looking at up to a 5-way match if Carmella loses all her matches. If she wins 3 and loses 1, then it'll be a singles match against whoever she lost to on Smackdown. If she wins them all, she doesn't have to defend her title. So a lot of interesting possible matchups there. We'll have to see what happens. But this rating got a 70 C+. Pretty good way to start off the show. Paige did well there, we'll give her credit. The Angle got the show off to a strong start. The Angle got the crowd hotter. And there's a couple of storylines there. Match in the Making storyline has started with this segment, and Women's Championship storyline has started with this segment. Right, let's move on. And we move on to the first match in the WWE Championship tournament. It is a semi-final match between Daniel Bryan and Rusev. And in a good match, Daniel Bryan defeated Rusev in 16:25 by submission with a no-lock. This got a 74B rating, very good. The match deserved better announcing. The match got the crowd hotter. Daniel Bryan had an in-ring performance at 81, Rusev 65. In terms of worker improvements, nobody improved, which is disappointing. Daniel Bryan got a bonus for charisma. Daniel Bryan was penalised for holding back. Why did he hold back? The announcing quality was penalised for very low experience. That might have something to do with me bringing Jerry Lawler back. But I just couldn't have Corey Graves on 2 shows. Bad enough having him on 1 show. I could not put him on SmackDown and Raw. So that is why we brought in Jerry the King Lawler. So basically how this match worked was, I think Rusev dominated it for large parts, working on that neck of Daniel Bryan. And Daniel Bryan basically pulling out a win late on. So Rusev loses to Daniel Bryan in the opening match. Moving on. We have an angle with Paige and Carmella. By the way, people like Carmella, people like Alexa Bliss, people like Mandy Rose, they'll be getting rated on their sex appeal and sex appeal only. I mean, if you look at like Mandy Rose and you complain about her wrestling skills, then I mean you're a lost cause. You should just probably, I don't know, order yourself a 6-foot box, man, and jump in it and say goodnight for eternal peace. Because I mean, if you look at them and you want to talk about wrestling skills, then I mean that's that's all I'm going to say is, man, you're living on a different planet. So I mean, maybe Paige, she can be entertaining. I think she has got a bit of a gimmick. She's decent on the mic. So with Paige, I will, from time to time, whatever I think the segment needs, I will rate her, whether that be on the microphone skills or the entertainment skills. But basically, people like Carmella, Alexa Bliss, Mandy Rose, Liv Morgan, all these people are going to be rated on sex appeal because that is where they're strongest, no doubt about it. It's a no-brainer. So that's what I'll be doing. Anyway, let's talk about the segment here. Carmella storms into Paige's office and refuses to take part in Paige's proposed plans. Carmella says she is the princess of Status Island and should be treated as such. Paige reminds Carmella that she is the anti-diva and doesn't give a damn about princesses. Paige gives Carmella an ultimatum. She can either lose the title at SummerSlam or lose it right now. So Paige basically threatening to strip Carmella if she doesn't compete in these series of matches. Carmella screams Paige can't do this before leaving, and it got a 62C rating. The Women's Championship storyline has advanced with this segment. Decent segment, decent rating. Carmella got a bonus for good momentum. Happy with that. Let's move on. And on the second match of the evening, we have 2 Mexican stars competing. In a bout that subpar wrestling and little heat, Andre Cien Almas defeated Sin Cara in 10 minutes 31 by pinfall with a split-legged corkscrew senton. This got a 52D+ now. I'm going to give you a little bit of a spoiler alert here. When booking this match, Sin Cara was absolutely furious. He came to me and said he wasn't going to job out to this. He demanded me to change the match, the finish. He did not want to lose. For some reason, Sin Cara thought he's a massive star, and he was more or less refusing, demanding that I change the finish. But I didn't change the finish, and I forced Sin Cara to lose this match, and I don't think he's happy, to be honest. So he was already a negative influence in the locker room. God knows what he's going to be like now, but I mean, fuck Sin Cara. I mean, the guy thinks he's something special. He's nothing, just a bum in a mask, really. at the end of the day. And look at that, Sin Cara was really off his game tonight. Makes you wonder whether he decided to be off his game on purpose. Almaz is not suited to his gimmick. Selena Vega did some good work at ringside, and both of them came in with in-ring performances of 47. Not good enough. No worker improvements. The dirt sheet. What else have we got here? Right, dirt sheet. Sin Cara was penalised for being unable to use high impact moves. And so basically announcing again. Anyway, 52D, not the end of the world. Decent rating, I guess, but kinda, I don't know, this Almas trying to, kinda being pushed as the next big star. I just don't think it's going to happen, really. I don't think he's ready at the moment. Anyway, let's move on to the next match / segment. And it is The Miz and Daniel Bryan backstage. So, Daniel Bryan is backstage after his match against Rusev. He's holding the neck, obviously. You know, Rusev worked on the neck for large periods of that match. So Daniel Bryan into the final, but maybe not at 100% health. And he runs into The Miz backstage. The Miz tells Bryan he should have kept his comfy general manager role of SmackDown. Miz says when he beats Samoa Joe, he'll show everyone the difference tonight between an A-list movie star and a B+ indie star. So there you go, Miz telling Daniel Bryan that he will see him tonight in the main event of SmackDown, and says that he will defeat Daniel Bryan. 72 B-, really good rating there. The Miz was superb working without a script. He had the crowd in the palm of his hand the entire time. Yeah, guys, so I'm not sure if you know about this, but when you're booking these segments and stuff, you can choose whether to script the promos for the wrestlers, or you can allow them to go off script. Now, most of the time, I won't allow them to go off script because they're absolutely useless and they'll just fuck things up. But The Miz is a trustworthy guy. We all know how great he is in the mic. The guy just oozes charisma and star power. So anytime The Miz has to cut a promo, or he's in an interview, I always let him go off script. I mean, you can't give The Miz a script. The guy's too good for that shit. So there you go. I didn't give him a script, and he was superb without it. So happy with that. And match in the making storyline, whatever that could be, has advanced with this segment and gained heat. Right, let's move on now. We want to continue. And in the second semi-final match for the WWE Championship Tournament, in a good match, Samoa Joe defeated The Miz in 10 minutes 08 by pinfall with a coquina clutch. It's got a 74 B-, the exact same rating as the other semi-final match. The Miz had an in-ring performance of 74. Samoa Joe had an in-ring performance of 74. So both of them coming in at 74. The match coming in at 74. 74 all around the board. No worker improvements. Dirt sheet. What else did we get? Not a lot here. Announcing quality again, letting the match down. Absolutely shocking. So, tonight's final is going to be Samoa Joe versus Daniel Bryan. One of them will be moving on to SummerSlam to challenge AJ Styles. And The Miz now looks like a bit of an idiot after, telling Daniel Bryan 10 minutes ago he was going to meet him in the main event tonight. Now he's not. But two good matches. 74 B-. This show's looking like it's going to be much better than Raw already. Right, let's move on. Got an angle featuring Mandy Rose. Happy days. So Mandy Rose is backstage holding a copy of the next edition of the company magazine, which she is on the cover of, naked. I hope. I mean, if it is, you can imagine how many copies that would sell. I mean, there wouldn't be enough trees to print copies, man. Trees would go extinct. You'd have to fucking be digging up bushes and, I don't know, all sorts, man. Dig up Mandy Rose's bush, that'd be great as well, but anyway, let's move on. She's on the cover of this magazine. She talks about how steamy the pictures are and recommends that everyone buys it, and we're going to include that next week she's going to make her in-ring debut on SmackDown. So there you go, Mandy Rose on the magazine, giving us a quick preview, and she's going to make her in-ring debut next week. Nobody really cares about the in-ring debut. We're more bothered about the bedroom debut, but screw it. We'll take what we can get. In-ring debut's better than nothing. It's got a 61C+. Was there any worker improvements? Nope. Again, who really cares if she can wrestle or not? No extra factors influence the rating. So right, let's move on. Decent rating. What have we got next? And we've got the first match that Carmella has to compete in for these qualifying Women's Championship matches. And in a poor match, Asuka defeated Carmella in 6 minutes 55 by submission with an Asuka lock. This got a 58 C-. Asuka had an in-ring performance of 64. Carmella had an in-ring performance of 36. It's advanced the storyline, and a pretty quick match. Carmella is improving in performance skills, so not quite sure what the maybe story is here. Maybe Carmella thought it was better just to tap out rather than risk injury. She's still got another 3 matches to go this month. She has to kind of stay fresh. And remember, by losing this, she wasn't losing the championship. It was just adding Asuka to the match. So perhaps all is not lost here for Carmella. And maybe this loss, should I say, isn't originally as bad as feared. But anyway, none of that really matters. What does matter is Asuka has booked her place at SummerSlam, and she is the first competitor officially in the Smackdown Women's Championship match, obviously along with Carmella. Let's move on now. Oh, happy days, man. Big Jeff Hardy, the druggie himself. Am I on drugs, or am I really seeing that rating? A 76 B-. That looks fantastic. Jeff Hardy... Green for marijuana. Right, Jeff Hardy is in the ring. He's looking for a fight. He says he's sick of his little girl seeing him get attacked and beaten up from behind every single week. He doesn't care if it's Nakamura or Orton. He just wants one of them to stop being a coward and face him like a man. So Jeff Hardy challenging both Nakamura and Orton. Either one of them. He doesn't care who. He just wants them to come out, face him like a man. The US Championship storyline has started with this segment. I've got a 76 B-. Very good rating there. Let's move on. Shit. And unfortunately for Jeff, his call has not been answered by Nakamura or Randy Orton, but instead Sanity, all 3 members, have came down to the ring and they're attacking Jeff Hardy. 3-on-1, absolutely insane. And what's this? The Club, who have had issues with Sanity lately, come down to make the save, and they stand with Hardy and challenge Sanity to a 6-man tag match. This got a 55 C-. And if actually just what the fuck there? Why is it Daniel Bryan? It's supposed to be Jeff Hardy, but apparently it's coming up Daniel Bryan. Even though I did put in Jeff Hardy, so I do not know what this is. Unfortunately for Jeff, his call wasn't answered by... There you go, so they come down, and the Club come down, help Jeff clear the ring for Sanity, and it looks like we're now going to have a 6-man tag between the Club and Jeff Hardy against Sanity. I don't quite know why Daniel Bryan's picture's there instead of Jeff Hardy's, but who cares. 56 C-, not a bad rating. And in about that, subpar wrestling and Little Heat, Sanity defeated Jeff Hardy and the Club in 8:54 when Eric Young defeated Carl Anderson by pinfall with a spiked pile driver. During the match, we had Nakamura run in and attack Jeff Hardy. Another 56 C- rating. Alexander Wolf, Killian Dane not suited to their gimmicks. Killian Dane, in-ring performance of 36. Alexander Wolf 34. Holy shit, man, they're killing this, and not in a good way. Really, I don't know, man. Eric Young might have to go solo. Those guys' fucking in-ring performances are shit. Carl Anderson, 60. Gallows, 56. And Jeff Hardy, 69. The US Championship storyline has advanced with this segment, but lost heat, unfortunately. Oh, and this is better. After the match, we've got Nakamura standing in the ring. Jeff Hardy doing Nakamura. Me no understand challenge. So there you go. Nakamura with his broken English, just trying to spit out anything at this stage. Then Nakamura delivers another low blow to Jeff Hardy before posing with the United States Championship above his head. That's like low blow 2,567 that he's delivered in the past couple of months. The guy's got bloody more low blows than Muslims have, wives, but whatever, if that's his move of choice, he is free to use it. That's got a 72 B-, which is good. It advanced the storyline again and it gained it more heat, so picking it up from that poor rating last time around. And this looks probably one of the best storylines we've got going at the moment in terms of rating wise. Anyway, let's move on. Up next we have Charlotte versus Sonya Deville, and about that subpar wrestling and Little Heat, Charlotte Flair defeated Sonya Deville in 8:14 by submission with a figure 8 leg lock. Charlotte seemed off her game tonight, unfortunately. Charlotte had an in-ring performance of 62, Sonya Deville 40. Any worker improvements? Nope. Dirt sheet, again, the announcing is very low and penalised. 59 C rating, not too bad. Moving on. Got the commentators put over a graphic on screen. News just in from Paige that next week we'll have a three-way tag team match between The Bar, New Day, and the Usos to decide who the Bludgeon Brothers will challenge at SummerSlam. So, Bludgeon Brothers currently the tag team champions. Next week we're going to have a three-way tag team match to determine the number one contenders. It's supposed to be a graphic here for some reason. It's not really showing up. Doesn't really matter. 63 C rating. Not too bad. We'll move on. We'll take that. Up next, we have a backstage segment. Charlotte has been interviewed by Renee Young after her win against Sonya Deville when she is interrupted by the Iconics. The Iconics ask why Charlotte is getting interview time and not them. After they defeated one of the best tag teams on the Smackdown roster. Yes, they defeated one of the best tag teams on the Smackdown roster. That good that I can't even remember one of the names of the jobbers that they beat. But anyway, this is the whole point. We know it was two local jobbers that they beat, but the Iconics putting their opponents over as, two Hall of Famers to try and make their wins seem more impressive. Anyway, Charlotte laughs, mentions it was a pre-show, and asks who the hell are they? Charlotte said this is the big leagues, and being the queen, that makes SmackDown her kingdom. Charlotte says she has a bigger fish to fry, as next week she takes on Carmella to qualify for the Women's Championship match at SummerSlam. So next week, it's official. We're going to have Carmella versus Charlotte, and if Charlotte wins, she'll be added to the match, and that will make it a triple threat match. As it stands between Charlotte, Carmella, and Asuka, but like I said, Charlotte has to win next week for that to happen. It's got a 52D+, not too bad. Moving on. And in the final match, is this right? In the final match, yeah, it is. So hold on, the main event. I just didn't think the main event was ready right now. And about the great wrestling and good heat, I think I've actually fucked up. I think the next segment is supposed to be before this, but it doesn't really matter. Basically, yeah, I think the next segment is AJ Styles coming down to the ring to do commentary. It's not going to make a huge difference, I don't think, because it's, we've played out of place, so it doesn't really matter. Anyway, moving on to the main event, Daniel Bryan versus Samoa Joe. And about the great wrestling and good heat, Samoa Joe defeated Daniel Bryan in 12-22 by submission with a coquina clutch. During the match, we also had The Miz run in and attack Daniel Bryan. Oh no, so The Miz came down, costing Daniel Bryan a shot at the WWE Championship. It's got a 73B-. At the announcing desk, AJ Styles was pretty weak. Daniel Bryan had the in-ring performance at 85, Samoa Joe 75. The World Championship storyline has started with a segment, and the match in the making storyline has advanced and gained heat. Yeah, there you go. AJ Styles making his way down to ringside to scout and commentate on the Bryan and Joe match. I mean, it was supposed to be the segment before the match, but it doesn't really matter. It's got 74B-. Another really good segment. And then obviously just to end the show with an angle with Samoa Joe and AJ Styles. After the match, AJ enters the ring after Joe defeated Daniel Bryan to earn a championship shot at SummerSlam. Both men stare each other down as the show ends, and this gets a 77B. So, some very solid ratings in this show. I think it went down pretty well. I'm happy with how it went, albeit I made a few fucking botches, but nothing too severe, so we can, nothing worth killing me over, nothing worth unsubscribing over. Please don't unsubscribe. I'll promise not to make the same mistakes again. And moving on, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of rating this show gets. I think it's going to get a low 70s. I'm going to go 71. If not, I think it'll get high 60s, but it's definitely going to be better than Raw. It has to be better than Raw. I'm begging that it's better than Raw. For God's sake, I had Mandy Rose. It must be better. Please, God, give us a good rating. $65C, man, are you shitting me? Oh, I can't believe that. I was legit thinking 68, 69 at worst. Man, to get a 65C, that is pretty bad. Alexander Wolf was used too much. Well, that's true. The guy was in about fucking 4 segments. The general feeling is that WWE don't have enough interesting storylines going on. The show lost its popularity in 18 regions. Now, just want to make a quick point. That actually could well be a very valid fact. even though I've started storylines on both these shows, the keyword there is started. We've actually got no ongoing storylines, so even though I've began storylines on these two shows, they're still yet to gain heat really because they've just started. So even just based on that alone, I do think next week's shows will be considerably better. And at least I'm hoping, I'm praying that that's the reason why these shows have done bad. Other than that, I'm not too sure. Next week on SmackDown, we've got that tag team match, which should be good. We'll have the fallout of Daniel Bryan, The Miz. See if Jeff Hardy and Nakamura do anything. We'll find out what's next for AJ and Samoa Joe. And on Raw, at least we've got the return of Stephanie McMahon and Brock Lesnar. So ratings-wise, the shows should improve, and hopefully the storylines will be slightly better, and they will improve also. But that is not great, man. A 65C rating. Pish. Alright, so before we leave and go and drown our sorrows and get the hair dryer treatment from Vincent Kennedy McMahon, we've got some mail to read, decisions to read, but before we do any of that, let's see if we can find out what the TV ratings were for SmackDown Live. It was 18.38, which is 13 million and 13.7 million viewers. Can we find out what Raw was? Can we find out the Raw rating? I'm trying to see how you would get that. Let me see here. There must be a way to find out the Raw rating. Broadcasting. We need to find it. No, that's not right, is it? Broadcasters. There must be a way to find it. Right, so SmackDown Live did an 18.38. And Raw did an 18.83, so they go Raw still just slightly higher than SmackDown, even though SmackDown did the superior show in terms of quality rating. Raw got more viewers, but I guess you would expect that, as Raw is Raw at the end of the day. You know, it's the main show, the flagship show, and whatever. So right, let's check the mail here before we go. Let's see what we have. We have complaint from Carl Anderson. He wants to be booked stronger. Okay, mate, whatever you say. The total cost of drug testing at SmackDown Live was 11 grand. Oh my god, 11 grand. What a lot of money, like, just to test a couple of druggies. You have been assigned some new goals by Vince McMahon. You can view these under your company screen under business. We will do that. Kathy Kelly development. I believe I'm ready to be brought onto the main roster, as I don't feel I'm getting any benefit remaining in NXT. Kathy Kelly. I guess we could bring her up, who knows. We'll leave her on NXT for now so she can develop even more, but I mean, we've just started this. I'm not really looking to make any major changes to Raw or SmackDown. I'm still trying to establish the roster we have, so bringing people up isn't really part of my goals right now. Ethan Carter wants to be brought up, as is Jason Ricker, Drake Watts, Percy Watson, Johnny Gargano. I think we'll just leave it for now. Bring them up in the future, no doubt about it, but not right now. Incident involving Renee Young. There's been an incident involving Renee Young that requires your attention. Renee Young has been identified as a soft drug. Really? Renee Young has been identified as a soft drug user by WWE drug testing policy. As the drug testing is done in-house, the press have not gotten hold of the story, so there's currently no potential damage for company prestige. As her employer, you now have to choose how to deal with the situation. So we could fire her, which I don't think is really necessary. We've got suspend. We've got send to rehab. We've got fine, stern warning, slap on the wrists, or take no action. I think we'll just... This is soft drugs, man. I think we'll just give her a wee slap on the wrist. Slap on the wrist, I think. Renee Young has seen her personality get worse as a result of your handling of the... Oh my god. So we're going to be... we're going to be sending bloody Renee Young into the asylum. Fucking hell, her and Dean Ambrose can go on dates to the asylum. Drugged out their heads. Mental. Right, contract negotiations with Dolph Ziggler. I think if they came back, if we got an offer for them yet, I don't quite know. Don't think so. Well, that's it really. Select all. Mark is... Do I want to mark and misread? Yes, there you go. We've done that now. And that is it, right? So before we leave, I think there's only one thing I want to do, and it's kind of look at the top 100 here. So obviously there's lists. You can check the top 100 events, the top 100 matches, attendances, pay-per-view buys. So you can see, obviously we've only had 2 shows. Smackdown Live there was above Raw, 65C. Raw got a 61C. In terms of matches, so what has been the best match so far? It's the Seth Rollins defeating Drew McIntyre match on Raw. That got a 76 B-. And you see the next 3 are all the matches that were in the WWE Championship tournament on SmackDown. So a massive drop-off in difference between... If you look at the Raw matches, the best Raw match was a 76 B-, and then the next best match was a massive drop-off of 10 points back to a 66C plus between Jinder Mahal, Elias, and Bobby Roode, Finn Balor. So you can see definitely where we went wrong on Raw there. The match quality just were not good enough. And what's the worst match we've had so far? The Iconic defeated Amber Nova and Ronnie Nicole on the pre-show. So far that is the worst match with 30E plus. But anyway guys, that is going to do it then for this episode. It was a slightly better SmackDown, still not where we want to be, but at least we're going in the right direction. Oh, let's just check the storylines actually. Just before we go, I want to have a quick look at how the storylines are going. We did the Raw storylines last episode. Let's see how the SmackDown ones are getting on. We've got obviously the Iconics versus the Queen. The newly arrived Iconics disrespect Charlotte and her legacy on their arrival to SmackDown Live. It's got a 47D. Match in the making after years of build-up. Finally, The Miz and Daniel Bryan. Blah, oh my god. Spoiler alert, so it's got a 73B, so it's pretty good heat. US Championship, 62C between Jeff Hardy and Nakamura. Women's Championship, 63C. And World Championship, 72B. So, looks like the storylines on SmackDown are definitely doing better than the storylines on Raw. But hopefully we can change that next week when we get, I don't know, a bit more star power in the building. And hopefully the ratings go up. Anyway guys, that's going to do it. Not a lot more to say. Sin Cara has morale issues. Angry at the booking of a match. I mean, angry that I asked him to lose a fake fight. What a joke. Ah, Sin Cara. I'll take your mask off and shove up your ass, mate. That's what I'll do next. Anyway, well, wait, before we go, one last thing. Let's check the owner goals. It said McMahon gave us a new one. I don't really see it. He wants us to get Scott Dawson up to 47 popularity. That could absolutely be impossible. The guy's got as much bloody charisma as my spacebar on the laptop, so I don't see how I'm supposed to get him up to 47, but we'll try our best. Anyway guys, that's it from Total Extreme Wrestling, episode 2, SmackDown Live so far, winning the battle against Raw. Still a long way to go. We've got the next Raw event in 5 days. Should be a good show. Stephanie McMahon returns, Brock Lesnar returns, Paul Heyman returns, and hopefully some good ratings return for the Red brand. Anyway guys, till next time, peace.